So today is RRU SWAT day. Here's a new one there. And we are top sector. See you guys up top. Alright, first step, rigging the tower. Grab your load line. Make sure you have a safety line. Connect that bad boy on you. And climb up the tower with the load line. Next step. Connect your cable grab. Put on your favorite music. I'm like, baby, what you mean? What you mean? You are something special. I take you on something special. I'm so into you. I'm so into you. I'm so into you. Next step, we're on the top sector. So that means we have to move the low line outside of each sector. This is the first one. I would say hold it with one hand just in case. Grab it with the other one. Let it go. Do it again. That's one sector. All right, next sector, repeat the same stuff. Over, keep climbing up. And we got one more sector to go through. This one has a ladder. If you can't fit through there, go through a ladder, put your safety line on that ladder. Disconnect off the cable grab, go up that ladder, swing it around, and continue up. All right, so the best way to do this one. First time I came to the tower, it's very tight fit to go through the inside part. Since I have a safety line with me, a low line with me, and a few other things, that's not gonna be my side of direction. My direction is gonna be through here. Open that hatch plate, bring the line across, over the outside of the sector, and continue to our sector, which is the top one. I will demonstrate real quick. Put bad boy there. Now you're safe to take off. If you want, if you know this is where you're gonna be at last time, take it off, leave it there. Now get your butt up there and continue. Remember, 100% tie off all time. Now that you're here, put one of your safety lines as far as you can up there. Take off your bottom one, put it in there. Open up that hatch plate. Might be a little tight because that radio right there. But I think I can fit. There we go, we fit. Now bring the low line over, and there's our sector right there. This sector also has a ladder with a hatch plate. You do the same thing over again. All right, so this is the last ladder before our sector. Remember, 100% tie off. Before you disconnect from that ladder down there, I don't know if you guys can see, make sure you're on here. Once you're here, disconnect here, continue up. Now the hard work is over. Enjoy the view, catch a little breather, enjoy the sights. That's Cleveland down there. The line, I put it over there, which is our low line. This is the radio that we're gonna replace right here. I'll show you guys how to rig it and how to do what we call counterweight configuration. Like that, we don't need a cup stand. We just use the weight of both radios and have them even out, and it makes it easy to bring them up. Be right back. This is why you bring your sling up here. Get your safety D-ring sling. Get connected on it. Remember, do not remove until you're connected somewhere else. 100% tie off at all times. Remove. Put it right back on you. Now this gives you leeway to go over there, work at a good distance. The rule is always to put your safety above you, but as you guys can see, we're at the top of the top, so there's no way to do it. Just make sure that you are on something that's welded, not bolted on. Don't do it on here, don't do it on here, don't do it on this, none of that. You want to rig yourself to the tower itself, safest way. And trust me, your body's not breaking the tower. If you happen to slip and fall down, you're gonna be safe. Okay, next step would be, as you guys can see where the low line is located, next step would be bring it around here, bring it around there, all the way till you get to the position, which is what we call it. Most towers have 4 position, 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on what market you work on, what carrier you work on. It can be different, but it is usually 1, 2, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4. But the purpose is to bring it around to where you need it. We need that radio over there, so we're gonna move it around with the hand of the person on the ground. And I'll show you how we do that real quick. Well, gonna bring it around. Low line. So he'll grab the low line, go on the outside portion of the compound, and we're just gonna be swinging it around together until we get to that part. So here we're on our final mix around. Now we're in position. Now we pretty much rig this up and get it dropped down. I'll show you guys how we do that shortly. So pretty much low line's already dropped. Now we're about to put the tag line on there, bring me the bucket with the extra tools I need to do the job, and then from there we're gonna start dropping the radio down and bringing the new one, which is right over there. And keep enjoying the view and some nice wind up here. It's always better than the ground, I can tell you that. Whoop! Alright, now we start the removal of the radio. This is class 1 rigging, so we don't really need to rig to the tower itself. That's more for the heavier things like sector frames, multiple antennas and radios and all that. So this we can use class 1 rigging, is approved. Everything down here is gonna get disconnected, and then we're gonna do the counterweight configuration and bring the other bad boy up, and hopefully that solves the problem on beta. So we're pretty much done taking most of it out. Now we're just gonna lift it off the bracket, slightly place it down onto this side right here. Fredo is gonna grab it on one side, and of course there's the same radio on the other side, so the counterweight configuration, that's where it comes from. Both of the weights are pretty much the same. The only difference is the shackles and more rope on the other side. But once it gets to a certain level, it'll be light enough that it'll even be moving the radio itself up. So just be mindful that the person on the ground has to grab the cable at one point, and you have to grab the cable at one point. Well, not the cable, the rope itself. Just make sure you understand that it's a teamwork effort. If not, you can potentially get hurt because it will go pretty fast at one point if you don't control it. So let's get to it. Okay, off the bracket, as you can see. Now we're taking off the final little screw to the bracket that gets mounted on the radio. Of course, these two things have to stay up top because of the counterweight configuration. There's no way to put this on the other radio because the other radio doesn't have it. So you need to maintain all the brackets up here and do it this way. Now we're gonna drop it to the side. All right, time to drop it to the side. You gotta be very careful. Hold it. All right, let's go. Get close in the beginning until it clears it. Go.
All right, so
I'll let
pretty
you know
much
if
for this
anything.
clip, I want to explain having your face in front of an antenna is not the right thing to actually do, but you can do this depending on how the sector's set up. One, if the radio controlling that antenna is off, the antenna is not going to be giving out any radio waves, so you'll be good. Another one is if the sector itself is not configured, even though it can be on, but it can't be configured, and there's no traffic going in and out, so there's no radio waves coming out of the antenna. Just keep that in mind. That's the safe way to do it, because it will cause you a bad headache within a few minutes, and it's not pretty much recommended, because of course the radio frequencies is too high for the human body at that point. And even though it doesn't give you no damaging issues further down the line, but if you continue to do this throughout a nice career, it could potentially affect you.
Now pretty much put all the back brackets on this radio. Once you put that back bracket plate, which is this, on there, this bracket goes here. You put the, of course it goes, gotta do it, hold on, there you go. Put the screw in there. Once you put the screw in there, everything is pretty much done. Plug everything back up, power on the radio, wait for a green light on the top and on the bottom. We're pretty much done. All right, she's all mounted. Now pretty much get her loosened up. Make sure that that bolt is in there. Once that bolt is in there, even if it's loose, it's not going nowhere. So time to take out the shackle. Of course, try to make sure you don't drop nothing. Put the shackle back on there. And lifting wise, we're pretty much done. Now let's try to get her all buttoned up. As you guys can see, everything down there is disconnected. We're gonna connect it, and hopefully that fixes the problem on this beta sector. Alright, so we're pretty much done with most of the connections, coax as well. What I do usually to make it faster, because we switch markets a lot, take a picture, like that you understand the color coding for this market. The other stuff is pretty much self-explanatory. The red cable only has one insert, power connector only has one insert on most radios. I'm not going to say all radios. Some radios do have two power connectors, but that's your job to identify it in the beginning. And then here you have your two fibers, well, three, but we're only plugging into two fibers for this specific job. And then of course you want to connect your ground. Whoever did it before didn't put no locks in it, but it's your job to have it correct for the second time, like that there's no issue with the radio. This could have been easily the potential of why the radio went bad. You know, the ground wasn't properly done, and maybe a lightning strike hit and blew off the radio. This is what we call no locks, pretty much antioxidant joint compound. Keeps it from rusting, of course, and giving it a better connection. Put some in there. Don't be greedy. It's not like you don't make enough to pay for it, right? I have Fredo turning on volts down there. There we go. We got 55. You saw how that jumped? And that is how you replace a radio. Hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, I'm enjoying the nice weather today. We got some storms coming in a few, well, about tonight. But the weather's good. God is good. Blessings is good. And I hope that you guys enjoy the video.
I hope you guys enjoyed this view as much as I've enjoyed it today, and the small video that I made for you guys as far as installing a good RRU radio and disconnecting the bad one on the tower. I would try to post more videos on tower work, which is the big aspect of my business, but I also have a small portion of doing security cameras for residents and commercial buildings, and hope to see you guys. I would try to mix a few other of my hobbies, which my job is a big hobby of mine. I enjoy doing it, but I also enjoy cars, so stick around for the car portion.